Hey everyone, welcome. Rabid here. Hopefully everyone's having a good day, and if not, hopefully it gets better. So yeah, we're going to look at this RX 580 4GB card on Ravencoin, test its power out. So we are going to have to plug in our power meter again because you shouldn't mine with this in. Someone in my Discord actually was, and they burnt the prongs out here. It just melted. So this is not made for long term. It is only temporary to check your power, and then I suggest unplug it and then go along with your mining. Before we get into that, I just want to say it was a long night. This is my backyard. Hot tub there, but we have a snow squall warning and the wind is like 100 kilometers an hour. The power went out a couple times last night. So I was up at like 3 in the morning trying to reset my rigs and whatnot. Yeah, interesting stuff. So I just wanted to say snow squall is pretty much an instant blizzard. A lot of snow, dropping temperatures really fast. So yeah, a little information for you. Before I turn this 4GB 580 off, I do want to point out it is March 29th and we are still pulling 26.25 mega hash on Ethereum with this card. So that's still pretty sweet, but everyone's jumping onto the Raven bandwagon, especially with 4GB cards. So let's take a look at the power consumption and profitability of an RX 580 card. I would like to thank the sponsor for today's video, CD Key Offers. They have codes here for video games, software, antiviruses, you name it, they pretty much got it. Here we're looking at Microsoft Windows 10 Pro OEM. Now to purchase this, you simply just hit buy now. If you want a more discount, you hit discount code BID20, apply, and you will get another $4 off of this, USD, $16 now. So you're getting Windows 10 Pro for $16. You'll submit your order, use whatever payment process you want, and pay now. Once you get your product key, simply hit next. And it'll ask you, you'll get the best thing, activate. And we're activated this copy of Windows. It is now active. So there you go. Okay, so before we actually go into turning this rig on and everything, we do need a system power. And in order to do this properly, so you know exactly what your system is pulling, you got to pull your card out because anything after that point will be coming from the card. So we'll just pop this right out of here. Quite simple. Here is our RX 580 with the Panda Flip, and we are good to go. This is an Asus Strix B250 gaming motherboard. We'll pull out and we'll look at our quick system here to see exactly what it's pulling. So we're looking at about 20 watts, 19.7, 19.9. So we'll just estimate this, I guess, at 19 point, what the heck, what should we go with, guys? What do you figure? 19.5, I guess we'll go with. 19.5 looks good. Okay, so now we got to get this card back in place, which is quite simple. We're just going to throw this straight into the ×16 slot for this test. Maybe we'll check the riser as well after we see what we're getting here. See if there's a difference when you're using just a slot or a riser. That could be a nice little test to do as well. Get this plugged in. All right, I think we're good to go. Then we smash the power button. So I have never mined Ravencoin on a RX 580 before, so I'm not sure what settings to use. I go into the defaults here, and it looks like they have everything set pretty close to Ethereum. Now, if we know anything about Raven, it is core dependent, not memory. And if you look here, there's a lot of nice hash symbols. So it seems like people tune their cards towards Ethereum, and then it gets swapped over to Raven, and therefore you are getting these settings in the default overclocks. And these aren't quite right. That's why I do not like the Windows version of NiceHash, because you're not actually tuning your cards for the most amount of profits. You're tuning it for one, unless you're constantly switching it every time. Just thought I'd point that out. So we're going to start with this, actually, a little Ethereum test. We'll probably have to drop our memory a little bit because we'll know we don't need it as much. We might have to tune up our core a bit, but yeah, these are just basic settings here. We're going to try a default and see what it looks like. For some basic numbers here, I did go to what to mine, and it does say 580 on Kapow will get about 13 mega hash at 170 watts. So we're going to try to shoot for plus minus 1 or 2 on the mega hash, and hopefully we can drop the power less than 170 watts, because that does not seem very efficient at all, especially with what's coming in the future. I would not be running this card myself. So right out of the gate here, I did swap my MDPM. It didn't have anything there. I did put it at 1, and my DPM was there, but 1 as well. So we're at 1950 memory, 1100 on the core, 20 reference. And we're already at 14.41 mega hash. Keep in mind, we are still Ethereum BIOS modded, but like I said, Ravencoin is core dependent, so your memory straps won't really matter when it comes to mining Ravencoin. But yeah, we're at 14.41 mega hash. Let's take a look at our power consumption. See if we're under that 170 mark. So we're under that, plus we got to take away our system still. So we are sitting at about, let's say 164, 169. 164.5 looks pretty stable there, so we'll go with that. So quick rundown here. So we were using 164.5 watts, 1100 core, 1950 memory, reference 20, getting 14.41 mega hash. Works out, this card after we drop the system off is 145 watts, which is 0.099 mega hash per watt. So you probably don't want to see me tinker with everything, so I'm going to play around with some settings, see if I can get a better efficiency and see what we end up at. Okay guys, so I do have some interesting numbers now. As you've seen, we went over our first one here. So I tried a couple other settings here, and I did notice that actually as your memory went down, you lost mega hash and power. But so I actually started bumping the core down a bit and the memory up, and I think I tweaked around some pretty decent numbers here. So we're going to look at these settings. We were pulling 172.7 watts here, 1150 core. Keep in mind that was 810 VDD. Now that's core voltage. Now 2050 on the memory, reference 20, we were up to 15.27 mega hash. Now subtract our system is 153.2 watts, and we're at 0.099 mega hash per watt. Now here is the optimal setting I found. It is 162 watts, 1060 on the core, 800 VDD, 2025 on the memory, reference 20, we're at 14.55 mega hash, and it actually looks like we went up to 14.7 somewhere. Here's 14.6, or where is it? 14.77 mega hash right there. So we are actually still climbing, so I'm curious to see what will be up. So this is, anyway, back to this, 14.55, now it's 0.77 mega hash. Subtract is 142.5 watts, which is 0.1 mega hash per watt. So I used these settings and I tried it with reference 30, and we were back down to 0.098, almost at the 0.1, but not quite. So it does look like reference 20 is better. We were pulling 158 watts with the system, so 139.4 when you take that off, 13.73 mega hash, and I went over 0.098. So that was these same settings, but with reference 30. So I think we're going to go with this as being the most efficient. Where are we at here? So yeah, 162 watts. The card itself was pulling 142.5. Actually, I just wanted to point out so you guys can see the power consumption. So we're at 15.54. It went down a little bit again. So it's bounced around 14.75, 14.54, not 15. I got that wrong. We're just going to look at the power right quick here. So we had at 162. Looks like 162.7 now, 0.8 with the odd bounce to 163, 162.4. Usually it can bounce down to 161 to 162. I did my numbers on 162. But yeah, for the most part, here we are for our numbers, just to confirm for you guys. So I punched our numbers into what to mine, and if you're using the times 16 slot trick like I have been, you're still pulling 26 mega hash on a single 4GB card, unless you have like a multi SLI and a lot of PCI Express lanes on your card. So we got 26 mega hash on Ethereum, and I got my cursor in the way here. So 14.55 mega hash on Ravencoin at 142.5 watts. Our profitability is at 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Ethereum is $2.09 after power, and Ravencoin is right behind it at $1.54. So that's pretty good in profit. Now, if you were to build a rig and using slots and everything, you would not be able to get this number. So I think you're down to like, say 8 mega hash now based on 580s and 570s 4GB cards. So that definitely puts Ravencoin in first place at $1.54. And where is Ethereum actually at these hash rates? We are down here at 44 cents. So yeah, if you're building rigs and you're not utilizing expensive motherboards with a lot of PCI Express lanes, Ravencoin is definitely the best option currently with 4GB 580 cards at $1.54. So yeah, Yeah, that's looking pretty good, and Ravencoin is the most profitable coin for the majority of 4GB cards now. We are now booting up on a riser, and I almost totally forgot this part. I was ready to end the video and start editing, then I was like, oh no, I did not add the riser to see if that changes the power consumption at all. So as I did, I have a single PCI Express going to the 8-pin in the card, and I have a totally separate strand coming from my power supply into the riser itself. If we can kind of get a focus on there. But yeah, so we're going to test out the power draw now. Here are some numbers now with the riser, which is, I thought we'd use a little more power, but we are using a bit less, but we do lose a bit of mega hash as well. So 156.8 watts total, 137.3 with the system taken off, which is 13.78 mega hash is what we're getting with our riser, and that is still a 0.1 mega hash per watt difference. Now we're doing 13.78, but it does look like we're coming back up again. Like, you know, Kapow bounces back and forth, so maybe I'll wait and see if we peak out. It was at 14.33, same lower power. Now we're going back down, 14.10. So we're just going to stay with these numbers, but as you can see, it does bounce around on Kapow. You never know. You won't have a straight hash rate all the time. That's just the way the algorithm works. But now we're going to look at our power here. So like I said, 157, 161 bouncing, 157.5, 157.8. So we're looking pretty good. We're same power, still in the 0.1 mega hash range. So hope that helps you guys out on settings. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Rabid out.